Hello everybody and welcome to our red set review for Modern Horizons 2 for Modern and a little bit of Legacy and something else, maybe EDH, I don't know. But today we're talking about the red cards and Eli's doing a thumbs up, and the first card that we're going to be talking about is the 420 Blazing Rootwall. Eli, hit it.
We like in the last video we talked about a couple of Madness cards. Some of them, one of them I think was pretty good, and the other one was okay. But this one is free. It's free real estate, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. You don't even have to have a cheap discard outlet to make this one work. You can have Liliana of the Veil. You can have a fucking 4-drop that discards cards. You get this thing for free, and if your discard outlet is cheap, you can go off very fast. The big winners, I think, once again, we have a Vengevine deck maybe in the works. There's another discard outlet that's going to be later in a later video that I think that could enable some strategies with. I've already seen kind of murmurings in the MTG Twitter sphere, modern challenges, of a pretty cool discard outlet deck, and this card this should be a linchpin of that kind of strategy. We've been asking for this card for years.
Yeah.
In Modern.
Next up, we have Braze Apprentice, the 3-mana artifact human creature. Wait, hold on. Alarm bells are going off here. We have a new video.
This is exactly why.
Does Braze Apprentice go in humans?
I'm gonna give it 4 thumbs down. This one, you know, there's a lot of 3-drop humans in this set, so there's a lot of competition for those slots now. They didn't print a ton of cheap ones. There's more like middle cost ones. This card just has a lot of awkward abilities. Like, you know, it's a fine rate. You get a Thopter and a ground and a pretty medium-sized ground guy for 3 mana. But this ability, man, this like sacrifice an artifact to like pump a guy or like flip over the top card of your deck or something, and like it's nice to pitch an Ether Vial after you flood it out. But it's just like kind of like you have to tap it to pump a creature, like, and then you're not attacking for 2 with it.
Yeah.
Like it's just not. There's just better option. It's a fine card, but you can do better.
If this sees play, it won't be in humans. It'll be in
some artifact.
Some artifact deck. Maybe a mono red artifacts or mono red affinity or something. I don't know.
Winota. Yeah, Winota.
Winota. Yeah, that's actually a good choice. Next up, because my heart was broken that Bloodbraid Marauder is not good. We have Dragon Rage Channeler, which I'm just going to assume is going directly into your Jund Death Shadow deck, and you're not going to look back.
Well, you know, yeah, obviously, and this great with Tormagoyf, they key off of the same type of things. Getting to Surveil off of the cast triggers means that those types of decks will run out of gas less, where they want to keep a low land count and kind of filter their draws with Mishra's Bauble and triggers from this. Great. Flying over things, that's not really an effect that they had access to before. Usually it was just, I have to get chump blocked or clear the way with a removal spell or trample through with Temur Battle Rage. Now they can just fly over. The one thing though is that if you play this before you have Delirium, it will get picked off by the stupid Renaissance and that pesky Lava Dart, which is annoying. But you can play around that if you want. You can wait. And Scourge, if you're a Scourge of the Skycliffs version, it's a 1-drop to get that first point of damage. So this card does a ton of things. It's even good in Legacy as some sort of tempo threat as well. So Death Shadow, Prowess, Delver, whatever you want with key off spells or Delirium.
Next up, we have Faithless Looting. Oh, pardon me.
Ooh.
We have Faithless Salvaging.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Ooh, people thought that they were going to unban that. Too bad.
Yeah, this is...
Is this playable?
So, I would have said yes before, but then in Strixhaven, they printed a backup Cathartic Reunion, so we're not really putting it in Dredge. Hollow One wants you to discard a bunch of cards in 1 turn. The second half costs 0 mana, so maybe you can go like this, and then untap, and then do it for free, play another discard spell, and then do the Hollow Ones, but then it's on turn 3. It's not the most explosive. I think it's close, but I would rather play some of the other options at 2 mana specifically.
They really should have made this 1 mana, like, make it a sorcery. They didn't want Faithless Looting to be a thing.
There's so many good payoffs now. So
Yeah.
they had now the gate is no longer payoffs. It's the other way around. You
Yeah.
have to find the discard outlets.
Yeah. Sucks for people. I actually enjoyed Faithless Looting, but it had to go. Next up, we have our red card in our Evoke cycle. We have Fury. This one has double strike, but it's tiny. People were expecting a lot of things out of this red card, but what do you think?
Yeah,
about
generally,
this one?
generally when it's this late into the spoiler, it's kind of a bad sign. That being said, it's still pretty fine. It's pretty similar to a card from Alliances called Pyrokinesis. Yeah, I believe it's Pyrokinesis. It does 4 damage divided, right?
Yeah.
So it can fulfill the same role as that. If you're playing like if you're playing a red deck with a lot of card advantage and not a lot of removal in the main deck, it's a good fit for that. I'm not sure that there's a lot of Goblins in Legacy was typically going for Pyrokinesis.
Yeah.
So it checks off both of those boxes. So this was probably the most fringe of the bunch, but it's still a pretty decent. It's probably it's still a pretty decent effect. So
That's it. It's kind of boring. It was the last one spoiled. I don't know.
yeah, it's already super similar to Pyrokinesis, and that card's not the most powerful. It's okay in certain sideboards.
Just because we talked about the other ones, Glimpse of Tomorrow is the suspend card. It's for fun. It's Warp World.
You can do some. You can do the if you build a deck that makes a lot of like generates a lot of bad permanents and then Warp World them into something. But the problem with that is that you build your deck to generate like a lot of like treasures and foods and like tokens and lingering souls or whatever, and then you flip them, and then you don't really like the setup and the payoff are kind of it's a weird one to build around. Probably the most fun of the cycle though.
Yeah.
Maybe Replenish is more fun.
There'll be some bad Tuesday Night Modern deck that we play with that.
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, we have Mind Collapse, which I'm sure a lot of people saw the templating for this card and were saying, oh, please God, don't have it hit players. Thankfully, it did not hit players, but is there maybe, I don't know, some Arclight deck
Yeah,
that
I
could play
always
this?
like
or
I like
Prowess?
It's just a common and it's not that great, but like if your mana cost can be 0, I'm putting you on the list. Like
Yeah.
It doesn't get any cheaper than free. Sacrificing a mountain is something that we've already seen that people are willing to do a lot of because of Lava Dart. I think that this card, Arclight Phoenix is a good home where you mentioned that, where you want a lot of free spells. So like just because it's kind of mopey, don't like count it out. It's a free spell. It's free real estate.
Yeah. Next up, we have a card that just right here, right here.
Oh, is this the one?
This is the one. This is the one for me. This is the one that I want.
For me, it's Obsidian Charmal.
It's Obsidian Charmal. It's a dragon. It's 5 mana. It's a 4/4. It has flying. It costs less for people that are playing Tron. And when it enters the battlefield, it fucking stone rains land.
That's land death. We're not. There's no censorship. Land death.
Land death. Avalanche Riders. This back to back. We're doing it. I'm doing it. That'll happen.
Yeah, you might even be able to curve into the other way.
I'm gonna Restoration Angel one of them.
Yeah. Exactly.
We're doing all of it. That's
all
this
of
card.
it.
It's a lot of stone rain.
I mean, so there's already Ponza, which I don't think is main deckable. With his main deckable, the reduced casting cost is kind of narrow.
Yeah.
But it's just like it does what it does very effectively. If you're on the draw, you might not be able to stop the Tron player in time. But you're getting such a good rate. Like the rate is so good.
Yeah, you can get a 3 mana 4/4 that blows up their land.
Yeah, like the rate is absurd. Like even if it's kind of like
On the
kind of a
points
mopey
nuts.
effect, or like kind of a clunky effect, the rate is good
Yeah.
enough.
They've played like some other crappy
The
5
rate,
mana dragons.
the rate
like,
is good enough. Yeah.
Yeah, this could see it, but this is for me. This is not for him. This is for me to just
You have your
savor the flavor here. We've got next up I would say most hyped up card in the set. It's not even close. It's 100 Magic Online tickets. That's going to be outdated by the time this video comes out. But today, it is 100 Magic Online tickets. It is the Monkey Man himself. It is Ragavan, Nimble Pilferer. It has a just massive amount of text. This card is definitely going to see play in Delver, Zoo.
This is.
I could see it in Death Shadow.
This
everywhere.
is basically the premier red 1-drop just in Magic now. There are. It's not. I think people are going a little crazy though. It is just a Savannah Lions, even though like if you hit them and it can run away with the game by generating mana and card advantage, but it's just it's like it's a Savannah Lions. It's not that easy to stop a Savannah Lions. Like there's like a lot of cool things you can do with it as far as like putting it in Zoo, putting it in a Affinity deck because it generates artifacts, putting it in a Legacy Thrower deck because you want to like play this and then protect it. You Mox Amber for all of that could that could be sick.
Yeah, that could actually.
There's yeah, but like as far as like it dies to red on 6, it dies to anything, it gets blocked by anything. Like it's a very swingy card. You play this on turn 1 and then hit them. It's kind of like Goblin Lackey in that sense, where like it puts you to the test right away. But if you pass it, it's like it's fairly easy to pass.
Yeah, Goblin Lackey's also in the set too. But
oh yeah,
we're gonna talk about that.
Maybe we should talk about that.
There are the red cards that I'm looking for. So that was Ragavan. Next up, we're to the cards that are new to Modern from Legacy that they're reprinting in Modern Horizons. First up, we have, this one is for our friend Roman Fusco, the Burn Man himself. This card is Flame Rift. I don't know if there's a lot we can actually say about Flame Rift, because this card is good. Now, Burn doesn't have to play Boros Charm, where they can just play this and Boros Charm, I guess, but like they don't get screwed out of it by Blood Moon anymore, if you ever board in Blood Moon against Burn.
Yeah, well, the thing about Flame Rift is that in Legacy, there's not a ton of decks that are like racing you.
Yeah.
There's a lot more combo and just like mid-range in Legacy. There's always Delver. But in Modern, people are attacking with creatures a lot more often, so I think Flame Rift is a little bit overstated as far as its burn applications in Modern. Where I really like Flame Rift, though, is a way to deal forward, like Scourge of the Skyclaves is exactly what I want to play with Flame Rift. They do both cost 2, which is annoying as far as your curve goes, but like being able to dome them for 4, like being able to dome them for 4 and you for 4, like I don't want to play Lava Spike plus Scourge of the Skyclaves because Lava Spike is kind of mopey, but like playing this with Death Shadow and Scourge of the Skyclaves, I think, is actually the secret hidden mode. It's not Burn, it's Scourge of the Skyclaves.
Next up, we have a card that I think a lot of people have been asking for in Modern. It's Goblin Bombardment. It's been upshifted to a rare. This one, I know for a fact, Eli's working on something, even if it's stupid.
Yeah,
he's got it up in his noggin there with this card.
Yeah, there was always like you had they kept just making bad Goblin Bombardments. We had to like pay 1, you had to sacrifice such and such a type of creature only, or you had to like yeah. There was always some bad version of this, and now we get the real thing. Like Zombardment was a fucking classic deck back in the day that everybody loved. You could probably still play some sort of blood gas strategy with this. It's just the best sack outlet. It lets you like deal with like it lets you like otherwise it's like removal-less deck deal with creatures. It's your win condition. It's a sack like it stays in place. That's because it's enchantment. It doesn't get removed. And this card's great, and this card's sick.
Yeah,
for brewers everywhere.
We're gonna be playing
this
with
one
this one
for the brewers.
The Milwaukee Brewers.
Brewers rise up.
Next up, we have Gorilla Shaman, which I know for a long time was quite expensive on Magic Online.
Yeah, the old
because it's in one set.
Meta game.
But I've played with this card in Pauper. This card for Goblin sideboards, maybe red creature deck sideboards.
Well, they did print a bunch of artifact lands in this set, right?
Yeah,
it lines up pretty well against that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just. It's a little bit. It's not like an Ancient Grudge where you just want it versus like every artifact deck. You really could only kill like 1 and 2 mana artifacts with this card. But this one is Ancient Grudge, I guess is a bad example because that is repeatable. This one is ultra mega repeatable.
Yes.
You can just keep picking off all the 0s and 1 and cheap artifacts your opponent plays. It's a little bit fragile, but these artifact synergy decks don't usually pack a ton of removal, just like however many Galvanic Blast they're in the mood for. So this is a pretty good sideboard card for dealing with specifically cheap artifacts. So
next up, we'll get we'll skip over on the alphabetical list here, but we'll go to Mog Salvage, which I'm pretty sure we could do a very quick analysis of this one.
Oh, I don't remember that one. What is the rules text?
This is if an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you can destroy an artifact and cast this without its cost.
Much like that card that sacrifices a mountain to deal 5, this is another card that is free but kind of bad.
Yeah.
But it is free.
It's free 99.
Okay, well, the good news about this card is there's a certain reason to play blue or islands, I guess, in your artifact deck, and that's Urza. So that means that there's going to be a lot of artifact decks that will be particularly susceptible to this card. Like your Affinity and your Hardened Scales, you're not going to want to play this as your Shatter in your sideboard, but if, like Thopter Sword specifically is what you want to deal with, this card is perfect for dealing with Thopter Sword.
That's about it. I saved this one for last because this one might be where Eli and I have to square up. For this one, this is Imperial Recruiter. I've played this card a lot in Legacy Humans. Eli is saying that this card might not see play in Humans and Modern. I'm saying it might. Outside of that, there's a lot of like Kiki Chord sort of red creature combo decks where this just definitely goes into.
Blink. Yeah.
But those ones we know we're going to see play. I'm going to play those probably. But this one, in Humans particularly.
But you hate Soul Herder so much.
Yeah, I don't like Soul Herder,
All
but
right, keep going.
yeah, this one in Humans I think could see play just because this basically was Phantasmal Image because you wanted like, oh, I want to have Reflector Mages like 7 or 6 through 8 or 5 through 8, and so this sort of acts in a similar way. This can get Reflector Mage, but why do you think that this one might not see play in Modern?
I think so. Like the
In
circumstances
Humans,
line up. Yeah. So for in Legacy and decks like Humans and your like splashed taxes, Mardu, Jeskai, whatever. Legacy, the format is a lot more accepting of this sort of effect, and yeah, like you want your thing to deal with creatures or your thing to deal with spells, and like those decks are vastly different. Whereas at Modern, the creatures and the spells often hang out together in decks like Prowess or Death Shadow, so that's like it doesn't line up. It's great there. It's a little bit expensive for that. And then as far as bodies go, 1/1 is particularly rancid in Modern at the moment. That might change because this set will shake things up, but like getting picked off by all of these like free ping effects is really annoying, and those effects are either banned or they're not very playable in Legacy. Like a 1/1 just kind of tussles better in Legacy than it does in Modern. So I think for that reason, this is a bit of a trap for Modern. I always do like to see reprints of cards like this though, but this lineup is good.
We'll have to see. We'll definitely have to test it out with everybody, with people who are much smarter than Eli and I. But for our red set review, that is Soul Herder. But for our red set review, that's going to be it from us to you for now. Thanks for watching, and check out our other set review videos for the other colors and multicolored and lands and all that good stuff. So thank you for watching, and we will see you again real soon.